punter, Oliver Straw. Questions for Oliver? Greg?
So, Ollie, start with your difference this year, last year. Health, I know, is different, but how have you changed?
Yeah, it's definitely been a big difference for myself this year, going through, obviously an injury in the second game last year and then having to deal with that. And then, having a procedure in the offseason to clean up my knee. So it's definitely been a change. It's been definitely beneficial for myself, though. I feel like I've revamped my body. I'm in a lot better shape, probably the best shape I've been in since I've been here. It was a big strength emphasis for myself, and I feel like my leg and the way that I'm hitting the ball, when I'm hitting the ball well, it's going a lot further than it ever has, and it's definitely been a big one. So it's been a big off season, and I'm excited to see how it plays into the regular season.
Did that change your technique, any the way that you approach the ball, your drop, any of that, or was it just a matter of getting stronger, helping with that recovery and injury prevention?
No, I wouldn't say it changed the technique at all. I did have to wear a brace on my left knee for the most part of summer workouts, running, and also in spring. But we've worked through that, and I'm no brace now during fall camp and for the season. So it wasn't too much of a technique change. It was more so just a getting used to rebuilding my leg strength and being confident in both my ankle and my knee being healthy again. So I wouldn't say it's a technique change at all, but more so just gaining confidence in both of those areas.
Punter, kicking is not known as a contact position, yet you hurt your knee. How did you do that?
So I had surgery on my knee probably back in 2016. It was a bone degenerative disorder, and so I had a procedure back then, and I think at some point during the season, maybe during the Pitt game, after they blocked the punt, I copped a hit to the knee, and it may have undone what had been previously fixed. And so after I came off onto the sideline, I kind of felt my knee a little bit and felt that something wasn't right. And as the season went on, it just kind of became clear to me that something was loose in there, and it was floating around. So there was two loose bodies floating in my knee that I had to have removed, and the doc did a really good job of that. And it just kind of happened on that play, I guess, and it was something that it's a freak accident. You can't really do anything to prevent, but it was probably on that play against Pitt.
Oliver, do you keep tabs at all on individual award watch lists and things like that? And is that any part of any goal of you to claim any award or anything like that individually?
Yeah. Obviously, we play a team sport, and everything we do is for the team and the beneficiary of the team. But obviously, you see things every now and again, and it's obviously in the back of your mind a lot of the time. And I just want to take care of myself every game, every play that I can in order to put the team in the best position. But obviously, if that leads to individual awards and being recognised, then that's great. But I'm honestly not too fazed about anything of preseason watch list, because a lot of that stuff that comes out, you could prove it with the team last year being put at 14th, completely wrong. So as long as I'm doing my job and the coaches here understand and think that I'm doing a good job, then to myself, if I can get an individual award, it is what it is. But as long as I'm doing my role good enough for the coaches, then I'm happy with that.
What do you consider the most important part for you? Distance, hang time, accuracy, or something else?
Yeah. Obviously, as you mentioned, there's the three main aspects. So if you have two of the three checked off, so distance and location, distance and hang time, as long as you have at least two of those checked off, you're in a pretty good area. Obviously, you're aiming for all three to be perfect every time, but perfection's a hard thing to achieve as a specialist, and you got to be able to understand it's not achievable. But as I said, it's just making sure you can at least get two of those things checked off is how I measure myself usually. Yeah.
Coaches have raved about Austin Brinkman. How good is he? How important is he to the whole function of what you do?
Yeah, I've said it before, and as the coaches have said, he's he's a special player, and he deserves all the recognition that he's gotten, especially in the preseason, because it's something that he hasn't gotten before. I'm just really excited for, as it being his last year and us being together for one last season. It's something I'm really looking forward to, because he's been a massive part, of my career and helping me become who I am. And he's a great leader in the specialist room, and a great leader on the team. And he's someone that really works hard and obviously doesn't get the recognition he deserves sometimes, being a long snapper. And he's a special talent, and he'll have a really good year.
This might be a silly question, but someone on the receiving end of what he does, what makes a good long snapper?
Just someone that is going to be consistent every single time, and obviously there's the speed part of the ball, getting back to you, and that is what it is. I mean, it's pretty tough to get a big difference, but he's obviously elite with his speed, and he's even better with his consistency. So for me, just knowing that he's able to put the ball on me every single time, it's something that it gives me a lot of confidence in him, and makes my job really easy.
Your numbers have been great in terms of putting balls inside the 20 and also avoiding touchbacks. How much of that comes from your footy background, from kicking that? Obviously the ball shape's a little different. How quickly did you adapt to kicking this and being able to place a football like you did in other sports?
Yeah, I think the football background back in Australia, it definitely plays a big role in that. Being that we have to kick to different people like individually and hit them on a target, similar to how Austin does with his snapping. So it's definitely something that transfers over and really helps. And it's become more of a feel thing now with the footballs that the American footballs and the footballs that we have. It's definitely more of a feel thing. But yeah, it's something I pride myself on, being able to put the ball on a certain spot within a certain yard line, especially when we're in those like situations where the ball's on the 50 and we're trying to pin them deep.
You mentioned having to regain confidence. When did that come about for you?
It's been a process throughout winter, spring. It was obviously tough having to start pretty much from scratch, going into rehab. So working with the athletic training staff, working with the strength coaches, and just getting myself back to where I feel normal again. Because obviously when you have a procedure like that and you can't bend your knee, it's a big difference, and it's different when you've had to be conscious of it and to get yourself mentally in the spot where you're like, okay, now I can forget about that and really just focus on my technique and punt the ball freely. That was the big part for myself during spring especially. But summer and fall have just been about trying to be more consistent and play more freely as well. So yeah.
Have you had to make a tackle yet?
We've been doing the tackling drills. I haven't had to make one live yet, so hopefully we don't need to this year. The goal is to get fair catches on every single punt, but yeah, I'm working the tackles if I need to as well.
Wake up in the middle of the night dreaming of the chance?
Yeah, I do sometimes have a few dreams about making a big tackle, like a Pat McAfee style hit, but yeah, I've never had to make one yet, but if the opportunity's there, I'm definitely going to have to put my body behind it.
So you lived in the United States for a little while before you got here, but was there anything about American football that surprised you when you first arrived and started playing?
I think for myself, the speed and the physicality is definitely a lot more violent and a lot more tenacious than I ever thought it was. Obviously, watching it on TV is a bit different to being up close and seeing guys change direction like that, and also hit as hard as they do. So I think the physicality and the speed that some of these guys have is it's remarkable, and it's definitely something I didn't expect to be as good as it is. But yeah, those two things are probably the biggest.
American football players or Australian rules football?
I'm gonna defer from that question just because I don't want to upset anyone. But a lot of the guys here hit hard, but they also do wear pads, so it's up for debate. We'll have to get some of the American guys over to play some Australian football, and they'll let them decide.
Anybody on this team who you think would be really good if they went over there?
It's a great question, actually. I feel like there's a few guys that could definitely play both sports, but Cole Taylor's one of the guys that I've seen. He's got a really good hand-eye coordination. Obviously, he's got the size. He's quick enough, and he's got the endurance as well. So I think he'd be one that can definitely transfer over. Yeah.
You ever show any of the guys any clips or anything like that, or
Yeah,
inform
sure.
them about what?
Yeah. Always pulling up. Yeah, I'm always pulling up. The basic Australian rulebook video that shows them how it works, how we play, and what we play on. Obviously, a big oval is a bit different to the gridiron. So always pulling up videos, hard hits, and they tend to enjoy it. So hopefully, a couple of them can make the trip over and watch a game live.
Would it be a tough decision if you got offers to play both NFL and Australian rules?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think I'd pick the NFL in a heartbeat because the money over here is a little bit more than the Australian. So I'd definitely be staying here.
So I think I know this because of the meat pie thing we did this summer, but foods you miss, meat pie included. Give me 2 or 3 of the biggest ones you miss from home.
Definitely the meat pie. The sausage roll, a pub style chicken parmesan, chicken parma we call it back home. Couple of the snacks that we have over there. We got some chips that are a little bit different. We got some snakes as well, which is like a lolly essentially. There's a few things I miss back home, but I'm pretty well taken care of here, so it's not too bad.
Have you eaten that final meat pie yet?
No, I haven't. I'm saving it for a special occasion. I'm saving it for a special one, so it's in the freezer right now. But yeah.
Okay, anything else for Oliver?